wewe ni mkundu, kuwa makini, you are broken the jailhouse doors, Respect women, stop breaking jailhouse doors. Unaoga kwa sifa, moyo ni baridi, unaficha uchungu chini ya suti, unataja Yesu, unafuata tamaa, ukuta wa gereza umeandika jina lako. Unaona hawa macho, wanaona uongo, mikono wanawake, umejeruhi roho, ulisahau kila neno ulilopi. Sasa sauti za waajiriwa zinainuka. Askofu bandia, you are not a man of God, you are a clown, wewe ni mcheshi, wewe ni mtundu, kuwa makini, you are the jailhouse doors. Respect women, stop breaking jailhouse doors. Dada nasimama, mikono inatetemeka, anatoa siri ulioifunika, kilio chake kinapenya kuta za kanisa, kinakunja minyororo ya aibu. Kaka naibu kwa madhabahu ya haki, anauliza kweli ni mchungaji, sheria za gereza zinakuwa dama, haki ya waliotoka inakufuata. Wewe si mtu wa Mungu, wewe si mtu wa Mungu. Kuwa makini, hakikisha haina huruma. Respect women, respect jailhouse law. Respect women, askofu bandia, you are not a man of God, you are a clown, wewe ni mcheshi, wewe ni mkundu, kuwa makini, you are broken the jailhouse law. Wewe si mtu wa Mungu.
Wewe si. The beginning of the song is saying that you are not a man of God. Wewe si. Magungu. Wewe si. Magungu. You are not a man of God. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your home girl, Arabia. 914 Westchester County, New York, and this is a live video I'm doing. Yeah, so this song is called Askofu Bandi. Askofu Bandi, and that means a fake bishop. And the beginning of the song basically is all in Swahili, and it's saying that you are not a man of God. And there's a lot of people on this app that are not true men, especially when you go around disrespecting the women in this sector. And he's not the only one. Bishop is not the only one that is guilty of this. He is not the only one that is guilty of this. There's plenty of them that are guilty. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. Yo, yo, yo.
Unaoga kwa sifa, moyo ni baridi, unaficha uchungu chini ya suti, unataja Yesu, unafuata tamaa, ukuta wa gereza umeandika jina lako. Unaona hawa macho, wanaona uongo.
Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. read who said. Oh, that's Tamika. Tamika, that's you in the house. Tamika, I need to put on my damn glasses. I need to put on my damn glasses, Tamika. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah. So the name of that song basically is saying that Bishop is a fake and he is not a man of God. And there's plenty of them that are in this sector that they can't be men of God if they go around disrespecting women 24/7. He's not the only one that is guilty of this. There is other men in this sector who have to be rebuked. If he's being rebuked, everyone else needs to be rebuked. Those that disrespect women. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets, because the disrespect on a verbal level is something spiritual going on with them, it's something emotional, it's something mental. And usually people that verbally abuse other people, they are usually guilty of domestic violence. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. If someone can fix their mouth and call you a whore, call you a slut, call you a Jezebel, call you a bitch, that's the same man that can actually put you 6 feet under. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. I don't know how anyone else was taught as they were growing up or whatever the case may be. But when I heard people call each other names, I saw what happened after the name calling. When someone goes out of their way to call you outside of your name, that means 2 things. One, they disrespect you totally, and it's a deep-rooted disrespect. And number 2, domestic violence usually follows it, or some kind of physical attack on your person. What's up, Tamika? Yeah, I said hi to you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for moderating for me right now. I know it's early in the morning. Yeah, it's early in the morning. It's like a few minutes after 12. So I'm not going to be up here very long running my mouth. But yes, ladies, I want to let you know, because we got that going on. We're different men. We got different men in this sector calling you ladies out of your name. They're calling you names like, when you hear the word hussy, what do you think of? When you hear the word Jezebel, what do you think of? When you hear the word slut, you hear the word whore, what do you think of? When you hear the word bitch, what do you think of? And let's be honest, ladies, and a lot of you don't want to be honest about it. You don't want to talk about it, but you know what I'm saying is fucking true. You know what I'm saying is fucking true. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. And we got a lot of men that do this. We got motherfuckers on this app. If you deal with them in any type of way off the YouTube streets and behind the scenes, get mad at you. They release your DMs. They release your emails. They release your text messages. They do just like a bitch does. Just like a female does. That's why I say a lot of the men in the sector are bitch dicks. Let's say that for the people in the back. A lot of the men in this sector of YouTube are bitches with dicks. Sure enough, Tamika. Sure enough. Now, Armando Black went live today, and he was covering what happened on the Mill platform, what happened on the Mill Ticket panel. And his main thing was he was attacking Bishop and he was attacking T.Y. Ray. We all know who these two people are. But the thing is, he also attacked Sister T. He does not like Sister T. And that's what one thing you got to be aware of. When people see that things are being said wrong or done wrong to people they don't like, regardless of the situation, they will never say, well, you know what, that person over there was wrong for threatening to grape her son. He didn't say that. And it just seems like to me, and this is my opinion, a lot of men in this sector love to dox the women. Love to dox the women, love to dox the men. They love to dox their enemies, the people that hurt their egos. And we got a lot of hurt ego motherfuckers running around on these YouTube streets. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. So yeah. I don't pay no too much attention to Armando Black because I know he's a petty motherfucker. I know he's a bitch with a dick. I already know that. I already know he gonna feel a certain way about Sister T or Queen Regina or any other woman he doesn't like on this app. And it's personal. He takes things personal. That shit that happened years ago, he's still not over it. A bitch with a dick holds grudges. That's what a woman does. And that's my opinion. That's my point of view. That's the way I see the world. Period. Because you don't see me holding grudges. You don't see me holding grudges at all. People I have argued with on this app in the past, you don't hear me talking about them. You don't hear me downplaying them. If somebody does them wrong right now, I'd be one of the main ones to say, hey, that person was done wrong. You know what I mean? Because I don't hold no ill will or no hard feelings. What happened in the past happened in the fucking past. Unless the person pursues me in the current present. Shout out to the chat. If that makes sense, right? That makes sense. So it is what it is. But that particular song is talking about jailhouse laws. Jailhouse laws have been broken. And I'm telling you right now, the men that go around calling bitches, hoe, slut, hussy, Jezebel, whore, they are the same men that will beat a woman's ass. They are the same men that will kill a woman. And usually what happens to those dudes that do that kind of shit and they get found guilty in a court of law and they are sent somewhere to a state penitentiary somewhere, a lot of them don't make it out. You better, when you come into the penitentiary, whether it's state, whether it's federal, when you go into a male institution and they ask for your paperwork, you better produce your paperwork. And if something is on there, on that jacket, that is not to their liking, trust me, you will not be breathing. And if you are breathing, you will be close to the edge of death. We got some states, some southern states in the United States who have now passed certain legislation saying that they want sex offenders to be put on death row and killed, executed. And I agree with it. It's time. It's time. It's time. People want to follow the Bible. They need to follow the Bible concerning that, because there is a book in Deuteronomy which says that those that sexually violate children should be put to death. It's in your Bible. People talk about the Bible all day, every day, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Hey, what's up, Dora? Good to see you. Shout out to chat. Yeah. So, yeah, man. We got some southern states that have passed legislation, have signed their own executive orders talking about these sex offenders. And basically, they're saying they are sick and tired of them. They know that they are some of the root cause problems of what's going on in this country. Child sexual abuse, child rape. Because if you can rape a child, that means you can unalive them as well. And if the children survive, which a lot of us do, a lot of us survive being taken advantage of when we were young, we grow up and we carry that with us. Shout out to the chat. In my case, I tried to drink it away. When I discovered I could not cover it with alcohol use or alcohol abuse, that is when not only did I had to stop for a time period, but anytime I want to pick it up, I'll pick it up, but I just will not abuse it as I did in the past. Because I'm painfully aware of what happened to me. And I was trying to sponge it away. I was trying to silence the little girl voice that was still inside. Things work out better when you don't try to cover your own pain and wounds with something that's not going to help you anyway. Right, Dara. That's right. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming in this early morning. It's not even 1 o'clock in the morning, child. But some of my neighbors are up too, because I hear them talking outside. I think they do this like every night, because we got some new people that just moved into this complex, and they're up every night. They drive that blasted car. They leave it right there in the fucking yard. They got the lights on, everything. And these people. I tell you, man, it was so much better when nobody was living in this neighborhood. It was so much better when they had moved all those drop shot, no name, on brand, drag nasty people out of this neighborhood. The neighborhood became so much better. I didn't have to worry about coming home late at night and the drug dealers still be out. I was so glad when they cleaned up this community. They pushed out all the drug dealers. They pushed out all the squatters. They pushed out all the dope fiends. I was so glad to see them fucking go. I was so fucking glad to see those fucking people go. Because when I first moved over here, it's just like when my sister first moved into the Whitney Young. The Whitney Young is a project building. It's a public housing building It's located in Yonkers, New York. It's located right there on Nepperhan Avenue. Nepperhan Avenue. Okay? That's where it's located. It's not too far from Yonkers Avenue, and it's not too far from Getty Square. You know, shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. In both areas. When I first moved into the area I live in right now, because I live in South Carolina, and this was a very much similar situation when she moved into the Whitney Young. Drug dealers everywhere, dope fiends everywhere. The streets stayed busy. The streets stayed busy. I was so glad when they cleared all that garbage out of here. Yeah, man. Yeah, Tamika. I was so glad when they cleared all that garbage out of here. And I don't mean no harm. It's little by little, they moving them right back. Little by little. Because I see certain shit happening that was happening when I first moved into this fucking apartment. I see it little by little starting to happen once again. We at least I can say I had almost a whole year of peace, solitude, and peace and quiet. Now it's dark, dogs barking all night, people talking all night outside the door, outside the window. They act like they don't have any kind of home training, no kind of life. And I hate to say it, it's our fucking people. It's us. And some of these brown people, these Spanish speaking people. Yeah, that's the way I look at it, man. This neighborhood was so quiet. I even showed y'all a few months ago when I went outside. I showed you the neighborhood. I showed you the neighborhood. I showed you what it sounded like, what it looked like when they removed all those people. And that was a lot of people they got rid of. Downstairs, upstairs, across the street, they cleared out all those buildings. They renovated all those apartments. They got new people living there now. It's a lot of white people that live in those buildings. But we our people, we still here. Those same ones that have been here for a couple of years. But I noticed that they moved in some new people, and it looks like Clement, where I live right now, it might go back like the way it was 3 years ago. I remember when Birdman was still living, right? This is before I moved to this street right here that I'm on. And I was on Decatur. And that's off of Dorchester. That's off of Dorchester Road right here in North Charleston, South Carolina. And there was one particular night, me and Birdman, we was at the house. And we were laying down in the bed. We was watching TV. And then all of a sudden, we just started hearing all this pop, pop, pop noise. I was like, what the? I said, oh, no. He said, yeah. When I first moved over here, it was the same thing. A lot of gun shooting, all that. I was so glad when they moved those people out of here. I was so fucking glad. There's certain places in Yonkers, New York, where they must clean it up. They must clean it up. Especially what happens on Lawrence Street and Saratoga. That corner street right there. Right there before you get to the bodega. There's been a lot of shootings and stabbings right there. And I remember they have a police substation right up the street, but guess what? They don't do anything. You know why? Because it's us killing each other. It's us hurting each other. That's why they don't respond. Yeah, Tamika, I love when my neighborhood is quiet. Now I just started noticing that it's gotten back like the way it was before. Okay, right next door to me, there's a couple that live right next door to me. They got two dogs. And them dogs, every time they take them dogs out, the dogs bark all the fucking time. If they're out in the yard, they're barking. So it's not quiet over there. They got other situation going over there in that fucking apartment. It's been going on for a couple of months. I was so glad when they had nobody living right next door to me. Then these other apartments, not too far from me, a couple of feet away from the house, those were empty except for one family, a lady and a man and their dog. Okay, they're very quiet. They brought in these new people already, motherfucker. It's 1:00 in the morning. People hanging outside. What is there so much to talk about? 1:00 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube. I'm just saying, black people, we have no common sense. We have no common sense, black people. That's my opinion. We have no common sense. And this is why other ethnic groups don't want to live around us. What time is it? Let's look at what time it is. It's almost 1:00 in the morning. Motherfuckers is outside running their mouth. Running their mouth right now. What is there so much to talk about 1:00 in the morning? They live here. Why don't they get out the car and go in the house? That's what I'm saying. Serious, man. This is why, personally, when I was living in Yonkers, New York, and I had my own apartment there, I lived on the second floor, 54 Saratoga Avenue, Yonkers, New York. The area code was 10701. Okay? And I was living there for years and years. Matter of fact, when I moved to New York, I had not planned on coming back to South Carolina for no fucking reason. I came back to South Carolina. Should have never did that. But when you're tired of the city and you're tired of certain things happening around you, and certain things was happening in my family around that time, so I said, fuck it. I'll just go back to South Carolina. I didn't know I was going to be in South Carolina this long. I had no idea. I just wanted to stay. I had planned originally to, back then, I had planned to just come for a couple of months and then go back to New York. That was my plan. That's the same thing I did to Virginia. Same thing I did when I was in Cincinnati, Ohio. Same thing I did when I was in Mississippi. You know what I mean? Wherever I went, I only was there for a couple of months, and then I went back to New York. I was born in New York. I was raised in New York. I went to public school in New York. My father, born, raised, went to public school. My grandmother, born, raised, went to school. My great-grandmother, born and raised there. I don't know if she went to school, because back then our people wasn't allowed to go to school. They wasn't allowed to go. It wasn't encouraged. You know what I mean? Reading and writing wasn't a big deal to us back then. You know what I mean? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube. So yeah, the beginning of this video started off with that song. And basically it's saying in Swahili, it's all in Swahili. When I say I wrote the words, when I wrote the words, wewe ni Michi, Michi, that's saying that you are a clown. I'm calling the person a clown. When I say wewe ni Makundu, I'm calling that person a clown. When I say certain words like kuwa makini means be careful with me. Kuwa makini. Kufatu means drop dead. Kufatu, drop dead. So it's different ways of how you can say different Swahili phrases. So say it with me. Wewe ni Makundu. Kuwa makini kufatu. Wewe ni Makundu. Kuwa makini kufatu. And only thing you do when I want to do a little song real quick, I'll go over into that little app, press on certain words, and I will write either in English, Spanish, or Swahili. 3 different languages. But I want people to understand what the fuck I'm talking about. So if I'm saying, Bishop, you are a fake or a phony, I also put it in English terms. If I want to tell the person drop dead, I want to put it in English and Swahili terms. Like if I say the words, I'm going to put it like this. No carajo conmigo. No carajo conmigo is a Spanish phrase and it means don't fuck with me. So if I say cuidado conmigo, no carajo conmigo, coño, I'm saying be careful with me, do not fuck with me, shit. And I mean that. I mean that. And the women in this sector all over this YouTube platform need to put these men in fucking check. Stop supporting the men that disrespect you. Stop supporting the men that call you bitches. Stop supporting the men that call you whores. Stop supporting the men that call you a Jezebel spirit. Stop supporting them. When you hear the word hussy, trash, and then they start talking up under your clothes, you know that they disrespect you. The women in the sector, all over this platform, all over social media, is going to have to rebuke these men and say to them, look, I don't like or appreciate how you're talking to me or how you're talking to that sister over there. Because what happened to Sister T on the meal tickets panel has happened to other women in this fucking sector by some of these men in this fucking sector. And you women, you sit back and you say nothing. You sit back and you fall silent. All of a sudden, you can't open your mouth. All of a sudden, your tongue don't work real good. All of a sudden, you don't want nobody to see your teeth. All of a sudden, you become like a ghost. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And everyone knows what I'm saying is fucking true. Some of these men in this fucking sector have disrespected Moonlight over and over and over again. I have spoken up about it. I have talked about it. I don't hear none of the other women saying shit. I don't. The only one that probably was saying anything in Moonlight's defense was Brown Skin Lady. Shout out to the chat. And the way those men over there be treating Moonlight, Kwame Brown, and the fucking Answer. I'm going to tell you something about that fucking clown, the Answer. He is part of the reason as to why Soulfly and Moonlight fell out. He's part of the fucking reason. Matter of fact, he's all of the reason. He's trying to pit these two women against each other with some bullshit narrative. I've been seeing the Answer for what the fuck he was when he first came to his fucking YouTube streets. I seen the way he fucking moved. The man is a fucking clown, and he's a Kwamite. And that's real. That's fucking real right there. And people know what I'm saying is the fucking truth. So, ladies, when you hear a man call you outside of your name, stop supporting them. Do it on social media and do it in fucking real life. And when you see a man disrespecting a woman, you need to speak the fuck up, women. Sisters, y'all get too quiet. Y'all get too fucking quiet when these men disrespect another woman. It's like y'all be laughing and kicking it up. And then some of you bitches got the nerve to send these fucking dudes super chats and Cash App donations for disrespecting another woman. I've seen Queen Regina do that shit. I've seen her do it. She going after Lonnie. She been going after Lonnie for a couple of years. Queen Regina, when you gonna give it up? Seriously. She been mad with Lonnie for years now. It don't even make no sense. And that's my opinion. Mad at a woman that you never met for years and years. Don't know why you're mad. Shout out to the chat. But yeah, man. And the men is behind a lot of the reasons. Let's call an ace and a spade. The men are behind some of the bullshit in this fucking sector. And it's the women that need to call the shit out. And I'm surprised at the women in the sector that did not call out Bishop for cursing out Sister T. I'm surprised at the women in the sector that did not call out Kwame Brown when he disrespects a woman. I'm surprised at the women that don't call out the Answer. I'm surprised. Well, not too surprised, but a little surprised. And a lot of bitches will tell me, well, they support Kwame Brown. They support the Answer. They support these different dudes that go around disrespecting the women. And my question to them is, why? Because the way they treat those other women, when Mad Day come for you, they're going to treat you the exact same way. The way they dragged this other woman in front of you and everyone laughed, they're going to do the same thing to you. You got to watch people on how they treat other people. And I watch people, how they treat other fucking people. I watch them. I'm not blind. I'm not stupid. I'm not deaf. I'm not a mute. I understand everything that happens around me, whether it's on social media or in real fucking life. And that's the fucking truth to it. And a lot of you women, you do exactly what I just said. When you hear a man disrespecting another woman, you don't say anything. A lot of you are silent. I'm so sick of you bitches keeping your mouth closed when a man is disrespecting another woman on this platform. All of a sudden, you don't know how to open your mouth. All of a sudden. And then some of you bitches will actually defend these bottom of the barrel men. They're not even men, they're beta males, dweebs, lowlifes, low vibration, drop shots, no name, all brand, drag nasty sons of bitches. Bitches with dicks. Let that be known. And my stance on that is never going to change. It's never going to change. It's never going to stop. I just turned 53 years old. I've been saying the same thing for years. I've been saying it ever since I was in my fucking 20s. Way before I went to the fucking penitentiary. Way before I became an inmate number. SCDC, inmate number 221644. Control yard movement. Attention in the area. Attention in the area. Attention all inmates. The yard is now open. You have 15 minutes to report to your destination. The yard is now open. The yard is now open. People better start spinning the Bible on the truth in this fucking sector and stop being afraid of people that you're never going to meet. Stop being afraid of them. And that's what we got. We got a lot of people that are afraid to open up their goddamn mouth. And like I said, it's me and Johnny Blaze. We the only two that opened up our mouth about what Bishop did. We're the only two. And Bishop did not formally apologize to Sister T. He hasn't done it yet. The same way he disrespected her is the same way he needs to come with that fucking apology, because come tomorrow morning, shit is going to change for the bishop. And if she say she working to get him locked up, I believe her. And you know what? She should get him locked up. Yeah, I'm saying it. You ain't gonna get away now disrespecting a woman on the platform, and then he threatened to sexually harm and sexually violate her children. At least one of them I know that is a minor. How does that make you feel? I mean, come on, man. Nobody in this sector has said anything about it yet. Nobody. Because they all down with that bullshit. That's why. People, you know, it's amazing to me. People can go around hating a woman they don't know anything about. Let me tell you something about Sister T. Sister T feeds the homeless. Sister T works in her community. People seem to think they know her because of what they see on the YouTubes or TikTok or wherever she may be. There's another side to Sister T. It's a human side. All of us have it. There's a deep side to Sister T. I appreciate Sister T. I appreciate her. I do. So yeah. People see one thing, they think, oh, that's the way it is. No, that's not the way it is. It's different dimensions to everyone. Everyone has different dimensions to themselves. and Sister T services her community. She does. And a lot of times when she goes out there to feed the homeless, she does not put it on video. She used to do a little bit here and there, but eventually after a while, she stopped doing it. She just started announcing when she's going to go down and feed the homeless. Only thing she asks people to do is help support that. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And I think that's very powerful. That's very powerful. Because I don't know if anybody knows what it feels like to be out there in the fucking street. What it feels like to be fucking homeless. Because I've been there. I have been there. And trust me, there are people that come out every Sunday to go out and feed the homeless. There are certain places that do it every day. They have the soup kitchens. People don't know what it's like to be homeless. They have no idea. Anyone can be homeless at any time. Nobody is rich in the sector. Everyone is living paycheck from paycheck. That's why I don't understand why people allow Kwame Brown, the clown troll over there, to disrespect them. That man should not even be in this fucking sector. Why doesn't he go and hang out with us other celebrities? You know why he doesn't go out to hang with those other celebrities? Because he knows he will feel inferior. He knows he doesn't measure up. He knows he doesn't qualify. So that's why he hangs out with the everyday working Joe and Jane. And you dumb motherfuckers are too stupid and too ignorant and too blind and too egotistical to see that. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And that's real. People know what I'm saying is the fucking truth. Why does Kwame Brown, and nobody has been able to answer this question, not Sis, not nobody. Why does Kwame Brown want to hang out with the everyday working Joe and Jane? What is the purpose? Why don't he go and hang out with Shaquille O'Neal? Why don't he go out there and hang out with Gilbert Arenas and them? He need to be around other people that's like him, that got the same salary bracket as him. He's a millionaire. What the fuck is he doing in this sector, hanging out with the everyday working Joe and Jane? People that work every day, people that grind every day, people that are worried about paying their fucking bills. They worry. Because we're in a whole lot of trouble in this country when it comes to finances and economic soundness. He's a millionaire. Why doesn't he do classes on how to get people to know and understand how to handle their money? You know why he doesn't do that? Because he doesn't handle his own money. He got other people handling his money. If he starts speaking out against the establishment, the same people that was paying him for 12 years while he was in NBA, he know he would be like Michael Jackson a little bit, running around with a suitcase filled of money. Michael Jackson was homeless because Michael Jackson didn't want to dance to the beat of the puppeteers anymore. He started speaking out. Michael Jackson became a target. And whether people know it or not, regardless if he had never land or not, when he left his home after the police had raided it and defiled it with their bullshit and their tonteria, the man took his children and he left. He went everywhere. The man was homeless. And he became that way because he told the establishment, no, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, I'm not going to be silent. And they got rid of him. They put people in play and they got rid of Michael Jackson. And he's not the only one. Let's go deeper. Let's go further. Let's talk about Malcolm Shabazz, the grandson of Malcolm X. A lot of you don't remember him. Let's talk about him. Because after he was released from doing time in the correctional facility he was in, and he wrote a blog about what was going on in his life. And he talked about how the police were harassing him and his mother. He talked about it. He was living in Middletown, New York. I don't know if anybody knows where Middletown is, but I do. I know where Middletown is at. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. There's an insane asylum that has been abandoned up there. They're not using the buildings. There's only one particular rehabilitation place up there that I know of, and it's in Middletown, New York. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. But he talked about how the police were harassing him for months and months before his death, before he was killed in Mexico. That was all a setup to stop him from going to Iran, to have the conference with the people over there. A lot of you don't remember that. A lot of you don't know that. He was the grandson of Malcolm Shabazz. Well, Malcolm X, but Malcolm X had changed the name to Shabazz. But Malcolm Shabazz is the grandson of Malcolm X and Betty Shabazz. Betty Shabazz was Malcolm Shabazz's grandmother. And you got to understand the politics behind Malcolm X's family, because a lot of his relatives didn't make it neither. A lot of the men were wiped out. His father was wiped out. His uncles. See, when people know who you are and what branch of family you come from, and they know be bought, they know they can't turn you to a Sambo. What do? They get rid of you. They don't keep you around. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the YouTube streets. People don't understand that. They don't understand the concept. They better start learning and learn real quick, because these people are not playing. They're not playing games. They got a bunch of executive orders going against us, going to take away voting rights, going to say that there was no slavery. Black people were indentured servants in this country. That's a goddamn lie. And everybody fucking knows it. And I don't give a fuck how they switch up the history books. They will never be able to wipe out everything that happened. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And if you really look at it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put it like this. My parents and my grandparents lived through Jim Crow. My parents and my grandparents are two different generations of people. They was able to relate to me about their lives as being children in this country and how they were treated when they went out in public and how it reflected in their own homes. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And I don't mean no harm. The government is waiting for these people to pass away. They don't want that particular history to be passed down from one generation to the next generation. But it needs to be said. It needs to be said. Because if it wasn't any slavery, there would never have been any Jim Crow in this country. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. And that's a fucking reality. And that's real. They are waiting for the last two generations that lived during the Jim Crow era. They are waiting for those people to pass away so they can continue with their narrative. But I'm going to remind people there was a 400-year slavery chattel thing that happened here in America for 400 years. And after the 400 years, there was over 100 years of segregation, aka Jim Crow era. So you might as well add all that up. It's a little under 500 years. And they expect us not to say anything? It got me fucked up. But anyway, it's time for me to close out this video. I think I've done enough talking. But yeah, there was a song I was playing at the beginning of this video. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Mikono wanawake umejeruhi roho, ulisahau kila neno ulihubiri. Sasa sauti za uajiriwa zinainuka. Askofu bandia, askofu bandia, you are not a man of God, you are a clown, you are a clown. Wewe ni mcheshi, wewe ni mtundu, watu wa makini, you are broken the jailhouse laws, the jailhouse laws. Respect women, stop breaking jailhouse laws. Dada nasimama, mikono inatetemeka, anatoa siri ulioifunika, kilio chake kinapenya kuta za kanisa, kinavunja minyororo ya aibu. Kaka naibu kwa madhabahu ya haki, anauliza huyu kweli ni mchungaji? Sheria za gereza zinakuandama, haki ya waliotoka inakufuata. Respect women. Respect women. Respect women. Respect women. Askofu bandia. Askofu bandia. You are not a man of God. You are a clown. You are a clown. Wewe ni mcheshi.
Yeah, I know it sounds a little muffled, but I'm telling you the name of the song is Askofu, which means bishop, is a fake phony. He's not a man of God. And I'm calling him all kinds of clowns, anuses. Yeah. and it's being done in Swahili. And I'm not only just talking about him, I'm talking about other men in this fucking sector too that go around disrespecting women in this fucking sector. And a lot of you women that sit back and hear all this shit and don't say nothing, you wrong too. You wrong too. So it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the YouTube streets. This is your homegirl. And I'm closing out this video. I want to thank everyone for coming over. I want to thank everyone for supporting the channel. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank my moderator that was in here this evening, moderating for me. I want to thank Dora for coming in. I want to thank you so much, my sister. And I want to thank everyone that's sitting in the bushes. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. Because even though you didn't typically type into the chat, I understand that you're here. And I understand that you're listening. And I understand why you're not typically typing. And it's okay. Shout out to you. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please come again. Please come and visit with me again. We out of here, Tamika. Thank you for moderating for me. We out. Peace. Dora, thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everyone has an awesome day. I'm out. Peace. One.